Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you and coming over for listening. This is the Mania Club podcast. One of your hosts here. We got, of course, me in the house, Munchie Panda. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
That was lame.
What? That was the
Give yourself your own drum roll.
that was the best intro. Then that was like an air horn, do.
That was an air horn drum roll. I've never heard anything like it.
Still goaded to me, damn it. But of course, this is the most basic and most party pooper person of all time, Thomas. Womp womp.
Damn right.
Yep, damn right with that womp womp. Of course, here, if you're listening, then this is right now. They talk about the recent Money in the Bank for WWE 2024 and a little bit of other stuff to tag along with that show. But yeah, straight to it. The men's Money in the Bank, opened up the show. I didn't expect it to open it up, really, but it kind of makes sense. Hot opener, right?
Oh, yeah, it was a killer match.
Next to the finish, I guess we could talk about some stuff. I actually started at the part where it kind of started late into the pay-per-view. It was 4:30 Pacific time over here. So I was like, wait, what? I think the spot had something to do with Carmelo. Yeah, Chad Gable put Carmelo Hayes in an ankle lock or something. And, from there I had to rewind a little bit. But just watching the match, though, was funny. Skipping around a little bit, there was a moment where near the end, Drew he just yeeted a ladder. You know what I mean? Who was it at again? I can't remember if it was at LA Knight or Jay. It was Jey Uso, I think.
It was Jey Uso, I think, because Jay was up top.
Yeah, he just yeeted it at him, and it was just one of the funniest things.
I see what you did there.
But no, Andrade, man who had basically no pop, no expectation to win, pulled off the reason why he should at least be in the match. Why he's this performer, why he's so great. Andrade really did do a lot. I wouldn't say he stole the show or stole the match, but he definitely was, I guess you could say, a very interesting highlight.
Well, he's great. I mean, Andrade has always been great. I followed him when he was in AEW. I followed him when he was in NXT. I watched some of his New Japan stuff because, fun fact, Andrade is an IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Former IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Did not know that. I knew he was.
Trivia, but honestly, I want to get this out of the way first. People are talking about how this is the weakest pay-per-view that they've done of the year, right? I think from a wrestling perspective, this blew the last two pay-per-views that they've done out of the water. Like, match-wise and match quality, these matches were great. Every match on the card, I think, but met expectations. I think a lot of people are just unhappy with the booking decisions.
Right.
And I also am kind of unhappy with the booking decisions. Having, let it marinate for a couple days, I'm a little less critical about it. But I think that, the biggest complaint I got is, we'll talk about the ending of the match. Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Another notch in the Scottish Warriors belt of accolades that he can now add to. I think Drew was a very decent pick to win the briefcase. However, as we'll get to, I think they should have handled it completely differently.
Yeah.
Personally.
Glossing over the match real quick. Carmelo Hayes I think everyone expected Logan Paul to interfere on behalf of LA Knight, or not on behalf of, but against LA Knight, and for Wyatt Six to interfere for Chad Gable, which would have been fun. I would have loved all those run-ins. It would have been great. I guess obviously it was just too predictable, and WWE lately has been trying to go for unpredictable, even though some of the stuff is predictable, but still they've been trying to go for unpredictability, and I think it's kind of sealed the deal. You don't need run-ins, especially if you're, in Toronto. There's no need to bring someone out just for a quick run-in,
Yeah.
And
no, definitely.
And plus, it just, I guess it adds to feuds, but that means WWE has to run with those feuds for the next, I believe, month or so. And yeah, I think they just want to pace themselves properly. And so no need for run-ins. Let the feuds just build themselves organically. But yeah, Drew wins Money in the Bank, and I will say this: yeah, I was surprised when he just grabbed, when he grabbed the briefcase. I think myself and everyone thought that Punk was screwing him out of winning the briefcase itself. We'll get to later about where exactly this thing went. Next match, of course, though, after Drew just grabs the briefcase, which again shocked everybody. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. I mean, for some reason, I kind of just thought Sammy would win, quick retain, but people thought Braun Breaker was going to win. I kind of disagree that he should have, only because the quick NXT, not upstart because he's been on the roster for a while, just the main roster recently, though. I think giving him the IC title would be too quick. It is prestigious recently, and having Sammy drop it so soon, transitional champion to a recent, draw or draft pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've only done it. The problem is Braun Breaker's already treated like a legitimate superstar on the main roster, so it's not like he needs the Intercontinental Championship to, to add to that. I think Braun would be a phenomenal Intercontinental Champion, and in my predictions, which by the way we got terribly wrong, I believe, I think that he has the gut. He was my pick to win this weekend. I understand why they had Sammy win, but people are the consensus online is people are very upset that Sammy didn't put Braun Breaker over.
Sammy Hogan. I remember you told me.
Sammy Hogan saying that don't work for me, brother. Sammy. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to. It seems like they're trying to build the haluva kick back up to being a very one and done finisher, right?
Yeah.
People don't after Gunther, people don't kick out of the haluva kick after one attempt, and I think that's great, But I feel like with Braun's presentation, he should have I feel like there should have been a little bit more shenanigans. I think Sammy should have probably just scraped by. I don't think he should have won in such a Monday Night Raw fashion.
Well, I mean, in between this match and Gunther's, his match with Gunther at Mania, maybe less devastating than the Mania match, But yeah, I see what you're saying. Because Braun doesn't need to be destroying Sami Zayn. Remember, again, this is the guy who broke two of the longest wrestling title streaks in the most recent, I want to say, while of all time. Actually, he broke these records for people. You know what I mean? He ended this reign. I guess. Sorry, I'm losing myself. But he ended the reigns of the longest reigns of the tag team championship and the IC title reign. So it's just one of those things where I think that Sammy should be treated credibly, like he is a champion's champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Braun Breaker, great wrestler. Maybe, shoot. I mean, with Gable in the mix, that would be kind of weird. I don't know where Braun goes forward, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see Chad Gable not in the mix anymore. You know what I mean? Because this story was. No, I think you mentioned this. It's more about Alpha Academy than the IC Championship, and it's kind of annoying now. So. We just want Chad Gable as IC champion, and they've been teasing us, but we're not getting it. Like the big tease, I will say this, was when he was in the gauntlet match, for Mania. And then, unfortunately,
Sammy Hogan.
Yeah, Sammy Hogan his way. But next match on the card, of course, this is where we get to it about the men's Money in the Bank match. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Great match. I mean, obviously great spots. Not Seth, Priest kicked out of curb stomp. However, the spot that everyone's talking about, the one where he does the top rope suplex, Rollins, and then he does the Falcon Arrow right after the Priest, which he knows sells the top rope suplex, by the way. But he does the Falcon Arrow. Ref goes 1, the ref goes 2, and the ref just stops as Priest shoulders are literally on the mat, and the ref just says, "Nope, not a 3." And
I don't want to blame Priest for that because it's very obvious McIntyre's music was supposed to hit right when the ref started counting.
yeah, even Seth looked in confusion, like I should have won, blah blah. And I mean, I implore people to watch this too if you haven't. Kurt Angle versus The Rock, No Way Out 2001. Just before the actual finish, The Rock hits rock bottom. The ref goes 1, the ref goes 2. The ref just does it, even though Kurt Angle's shoulders did not move at all. The Rock looks so pissed off. He does another rock bottom. The ref goes 1, 2, 3. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like the ref should just go with it. Even if it fucks up the plans, he should have gone 1. And, I mean, the only downside would be, Priest lost to a Falcon Arrow. You know? Like what would have happened? I mean, if the match ended on a 3, I don't know. It's just protecting Priest, you know what I mean? And the ref wasn't a tough spot. Like, what would you have done if you were the ref?
I don't know. It is tricky. I mean, it does suck. The backlash is coming to Priest. And when you're laying on the ground and there's a music cue, it's a tricky thing. Like timing just doesn't work. It was reported that it was the failed pin. It was reported that it was a legitimate botch because it was the report was saying either WWE production had mistimed the cue for McIntyre's music, or the Priest was supposed to kick out but had been concussed by the move.
I mean, the thing is with Priest, imagine you think McIntyre's music's gonna hit at 2, right? Ref goes 1, 2. You have that 1 second delay to hope McIntyre's music hits and the ref stop, or you just look like a complete fool and the ref stops the count. I would have just kicked out. Priest should have just gone for a kick out. That way, imagine the ref goes 1, 2, Priest with the kick out, and then the ref tells Rollins 2, and then McIntyre's music can hit. Because now Rollins has 2 things to deal with. Priest just kicked out, and McIntyre's on the way to the ring.
Yeah,
I just feel like that would have saved it a little bit. All in terms of keeping with kayfabe, call it like a shoot. You know what I mean? But if Priest was legitimately knocked out, oh man, that would have been that is a real conundrum. I genuinely don't know what you would do in that situation.
But music hits. Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring, briefcase in hand, cashes in, makes it a triple threat for the title, which, coincidentally enough, this makes this is this the second time in history that someone's made a championship match a triple threat?
Oh, yeah.
Funny enough, Seth Rollins is involved.
All 3 Money in the Bank holders are in the ring.
Yep. CM Punk gets involved, costs Drew McIntyre the championship match.
Costs him. He destroys him. He beats him with a chair. He chokes him out with one of the cables, and then to add insult to injury, just smacks him with the championship belt. It's funny all around.
And Damian Priest retains the title.
Yeah, picks up Drew south of heaven, 1, 2, 3. And Damian surviving with the skin of his teeth every time. And because of Punk. Kind of funny to think about, actually. Punk has helped Priest 3 times now regarding his championship. Clash of Castle, Money in the Bank, and WrestleMania 40. Wow. Interesting to note. But moving on, of course, after this whole conundrum. Oh, no. I forgot to mention.
We We missed a very probably arguably the most talked about moment of the night.
I was gonna say Seth Rollins and Punk. Is that what you meant?
No, I was John Cena.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Yeah, John Cena came out. Said that WrestleMania 2025 or AK 41 was gonna be his last one, and I mean, I guess we can just assume from now on until then, this is gonna be his last performance, like his last run. 2025.
My heart's not ready.
A lot of people aren't ready. This is going to be interesting. 2025. John Cena's final match is going to go crazy. Like, damn. John Cena's final match. For some reason, I don't know. I can't decide whose opponent would be. Randy Orton's always there, but, you know, it's always interesting to see what they could do.
Have him win the Royal Rumble from number 1 and win number 17.
Wait, say it again?
I said have him win title number 17.
Oh, I thought you said have him win from number 1 and 17. I was like, what?
Yeah, have him get eliminated and come back at 17.
But real quick, Seth Rollins stared down Punk because Punk basically, by giving Priest the win in the match, Rollins with the stipulation that he's not allowed to challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion. Now, Rollins can no longer challenge for the title. However, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday Night Raw tonight, as of July 8th, Damian Priest waived that stipulation and is allowing Seth Rollins to get a title match at any time, any place after Priest's match against Gunther.
If he makes it past Gunther.
If he makes it past Gunther. Correct. So, interesting that Priest and them are on good terms. That's good. But moving forward real quick, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This is going to be a
match of the night.
Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Stupendous.
Incredible. Like, give Chelsea Green her flowers.
No, she knows how to do her job. She doesn't give a fuck about losing or winning. She's just there to entertain and show everyone why she's the best at this.
No, give her all the titles.
What?
Give Chelsea Green, because after they did it on NXT, there's talks about them introducing a women's mid-card title to the main roster. Give Chelsea Green the women's Intercontinental or the women's US or women's TV or whatever championship it's going to be. Give it to Chelsea Green.
She would be great with it. Chelsea Green, your champion. She was a great tag team champion too.
She is one of the reasons why people talked about those belts again, because of how theatrical and how outlandish and goofy she was with it.
Exactly.
Spot of the night, though, is easily Io and Zoe Stark going off the top of the ladder.
No, that part was just... I was trying to see if that was Io doing her little taunt thing, but she was selling so great. Like, her soul left her body, bruh. I was dead. No, Io Sky definitely stole the night in terms of that match. That was... I don't even know how to explain it. It was one of a kind performance by the women up there. They all went out there and wanted to outshine the men. Not on purpose, but wanted to go out there and show them, you know what? The women's briefcase is just as important to men's. Here's why.
I think in a really funny twist of fate, I think the Money in the Bank card last year followed the exact same order that they did this year.
Like the men's opening it?
Yeah, it was like the men's opening, and then the Intercontinental title match, and then the World Heavyweight Championship match, and then the women's Money in the Bank, Oh no, there was a women's tag title match last year.
Oh yeah,
And I think there was a women's title match, but or a world women's title match or something. But yeah, no, they the matches were basically the same. And then there was a tag match that main evented Money in the Bank last year, also involving the Bloodline and the WWE Undisputed Champion.
Exactly. The Bloodline. Anywho, no, yeah. If I took a pile driver off a ladder, I'm not coming in to work for the next few weeks. Sorry.
Nope, real glass.
Bleed me a river. But no, Tiffany Stratton winning was great. I think that was the best decision, best given possible decision. The heel is always usually the best with the briefcase anyway. And
Tiffany's gonna have one. I was banking on either her or Chelsea winning it. You know, I think Tiffany is gonna have the best. She's gonna have the best heel moment with the briefcase. I feel like if Chelsea cashed in on somebody, it would be a moment of celebrating. But Tiffany's gonna have a better, like, shocking, despicable heel moment when she cashes in and wins the title.
No, she's gonna cash in on Bayley. I feel that. Imagine an emotional moment for Bayley. But who though? Who could Bayley beat to make it emotional enough for her to retain? And then Tiffany comes out. Oh no, she's facing Nia Jax, isn't she?
At SummerSlam, if she's facing Nia.
Yeah. And I think Tiffany and Nia have a partnership, so I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, Tiffy in the bank. And after the match too, she kind of got into Trish Stratus' space, who was doing a backstage interview, and basically they got into a little spat, a little teaser right there. And someone on the internet posted this, and it was kind of funny. It's gonna be T-Strat versus T-Strat, because Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton.
I want to see that.
That's going to be interesting. No, well, we're going to get it because Stratton called out Trish on the post-show interview. So that's going to be interesting as well. Kind of see where they go from there, really. It'll have to be on SmackDown because, obviously Tiff's on SmackDown. So we'll go from there. But no, yeah, overall, though, yeah, women's match was great. At least they, spoiler alert, because there was no match to cash in on, but yeah, the women's didn't cash in within 24 hours of holding on to it, so we're good there. They're holding it on this time, just like EO did last year, so that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. But main event. The main event. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga, with Tonga Loa in the corner.
Yuck.
Versus Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. 6-man tag team match.
This went exactly the way it needed to. It showcased the Bloodline being dominant. It showed them being a serious force, and Solo needed to get the pin on Cody, and it further legitimizes that Solo is the biggest threat on SmackDown. I said last week that I haven't bought into Solo being the biggest threat, but now I'm eating my words because they showcased him in a proper way.
Interestingly enough, have we seen Solo versus, I guess, someone much bigger than him?
Like size-wise, or?
Yeah.
Nah, not on the main roster, at least.
Besides, I know he had a match with Gunther on the NXT, but I'm talking like someone bigger than him, because I want to see Solo, because obviously he's seen as...
Wait, you want Obafemi?
Huh?
You want Obafemi?
Something like... I mean, here's the thing. My point is, I want someone that could put Solo in check, but because, obviously Cody and Orton can, because they see Solo as his guy who's just pretending to be Roman Reigns, that kind of thing. But I don't think Solo has met someone that is just... I want to see him get his ass whipped by Braun Strowman, stuff like that. Like, they're making Solo seem like such a badass heel when he's such a small, miniature person. You know what I mean?
not that small. He's pretty beefy.
No,
I mean,
you,
he was. I mean, if you think he was Roman's right hand man for the last like year and a half.
he was.
He was Roman's right hand man from Clash at the Castle 2022 to Mania.
Yeah. Right there. It's just crazy to think that Solo is now in the position of I'm Roman Reigns and I'm running the tribal chief. You know, I'm the tribal chief when he's just playing make believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. And obviously with WWE saying Bad Blood's coming out, you know, that's gonna be kind of interesting. I think it's in October 7th or something. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Definitely Bloodline related pay-per-view. I mean, the pay-per-view is a classic back in the day, but I'm saying that I could feel some more Bloodline representative going forward on this show for sure.
Did you see the botch that it's really messed up because I feel bad for the people involved. Kevin Owens has Tama Tonga and the package pile driver. Tonga Loa comes up to low blow Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And fucking wails the top of Tama Tonga's head.
God, I can't imagine just taking a fist upside down on your forehead.
Tragic.
Like, it was a good idea in theory. Like, the concept sounds cool. Don't get me wrong. Just the execution when you think about it, like your whole hand's just, you know, there. Kind of, oh man, you're right. That's not good. Because your whole arm has to swing through that whole area.
He just punched him right in the freaking dome.
God, now I don't want to think about that pain. That's literally just getting hit on the head. Literally. It's full on force. Oh man, I wonder if they had a chat about that. I mean, aren't they brothers?
I believe so, yeah.
Or not brothers blood, but
they're related.
Yeah, very closely. So I think they're gonna wave it off and be like, "Hey, you hit me in the head, dumbass." You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you know, some shit like that. But yeah, I saw that. Oh man, that was just brutal as hell. It happens, I guess, right? But no, this match just proved one thing. Jacob Fatu was there to save Solo every time he needed it.
He also had a stellar showcase this match. He was great.
No, for a tag team match, this was the highlight of Jacob Fatu. Who was saving everybody in this match? Jacob Fatu. Didn't he do that whisper in the wind off that fucking top rope to Cody as he was going for the crossroads? And then the Impaler DDT? God damn. No, Jacob Fatu is a monster, and I love it. It's amazing. He's doing more than Solo ever did.
I mean, they said they were holding off on debuting him because they were worried he was going to outshine Solo.
Mission accomplished. He outshined Solo. But no, I definitely think Jacob is definitely some sort of rogue agent or something because he's definitely just there to observe, and he's acting a little too good, you know, to protect, you know, to hold the spot for Roman.
Yeah.
No, Jacob Fatu and Roman, that's gonna be a nutty ass tag team.
Excuse me.
No, Jacob and Roman. Woo! That's gonna be too lit of a tag team, honestly. I can't even do that. But no, yeah, Solo Sikoa, just pinning the champion. Oof. Now he has justification, so the rumors match.
I mean, that's obviously the match they're building towards. I do appreciate them that with Cody now taking the reins as champion. It's been they've been able to take a step back and focus on other feuds that are main event are deserving of the main event spot as well. I feel like like this was a main event show, but like there's so much more breathing room for other feuds now that all of our focus isn't on who's going to be the one to take the belt off of Roman.
Oh my gosh, that's too true.
Like like we can see the Punk versus Drew feud, and like it's allowing the World Heavyweight Championship to have more of a place on the roster, and it doesn't feel so much as like a consolation belt now that Roman doesn't have it. It's a very cool thing because now the rosters feel even, and a lot of it doesn't feel like, because Roman had such a dominant, like a strangle, like people would talk about holding the roster or not the roster, the title, and a lot of the company hostage. As good as it was when Roman was on TV every week, like the focus was on him, and he was the draw. He was the reason everybody was watching, which was fantastic. That's what you want in a champion. But it took so much attention off of everybody else that now everything else, like it's allowing, you have the Wyatts, you have like Chad Gable, you have Braun Breaker, you got LA Knight and Logan Paul, you have Drew and Punk, you have all these different feuds, you have the Judgment Day stuff, you have Liv Morgan and Dom, you have so much crazy stuff going on right now, and it's a very good time to be a wrestling fan.
It is. So actually a lot going on, to be honest, in terms of that. And like you said with Roman, again, you're right. Roman's a draw. And I think people are going to look back on the Tribal Chief era, the 2020 to 2024 era, and look at it and just be like, wow, this was semi-peak. This was great television. I mean, there's a certain point of it, not all of it was great, don't get me wrong, but 2023 for sure, and 2024. But you know what I mean? Like, there was a certain point where we all just loved the Tribal Chief character, and we just couldn't wait to see him go away. But at the same time, we wish he didn't go away. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Like, we wanted him gone so badly because he was hogging up space, but we didn't want him to go. Like, he was our man. He's the Hulk. I want to say he's the Hulk Hogan of this era, but he was champion for so long. He may as well be considered like a Hulk Hogan, a modern day kind of like that, in a sense of his championship reign, so to say, and how many main events of WrestleMania he's had. Ridiculous. I can hear your fan in the background.
It's hot as hell, dude. I don't know what it's like over by you.
It's hot as hell.
It is. Oh, shit. I dropped my phone. Let me see. Let's see how far. Let's see where the heat is over here. It's. Oh. It is. Oh dear. It is 82.
82, huh?
Cooking. It's supposed to be 91 tomorrow.
It's 82 degrees and it's 10 o'clock over, almost 11 for you?
Yep.
Bruh.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Wait, if you step outside right now, you're going to be heated?
Oh, it's going to be so bad.
Humidity-wise?
Oh, it's like, it feels like a Scooby-Doo cartoon where he like opens his claw and he carves the circle out of the fog. That's what it feels like outside right now.
Oh.
Hang on, Munch.
Yeet.
Okay, we can proceed.
Let me chew these chips.
Yeah, no, it's fucking brutal. Like, I'm in the I just left the bedroom, and I'm walking around downstairs and just in the basement area, and it's humid.
Oh, I can hear that getting louder.
Yeah, that's the humidifier.
You have a humidifier going on?
Or the dehumidifier, sorry.
Oh man, I was like, bruh, what's going on with you? Bro's trying to make it more humid in there. Anywho. So yeah, with Money in the Bank, it was a good send-off show, to let us know there's another pay-per-view on the way. SummerSlam in about a month, I believe August 3rd. So be on the lookout for that. But basically, we're getting Gunther versus Priest, of course. And Solo versus Cody is for sure going to happen now that Solo can say, hey, I pinned the champion. Now let me go for you in a one-on-one match setting. Which we can assume then that Roman is most likely going to return then. I believe he could return during, like you suggested with Paul Heyman. I don't know. I remember I said like he was going to be with Paul Heyman possibly. As a face, don't know. But he's definitely going to go after Solo.
I mean, after they directly called him out the other day and said Roman's going to have to take the lay from him.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to take this from me. Like, that's literally calling him out. And you can't just ignore all the Roman chants, too. It's crazy how they say we want Roman, but it's like, they wanted Cody, but they want Roman because, is it because Solo's the tribal chief?
Wrestling fans are fickle, man.
Exactly. It's because like Roman's gone for like 2 weeks. Like we want Roman, and he shows up. It's like, you guys wanted me, but wait, I thought you didn't want me, because like you wanted your boy Cody. So it's just a whole thing of like, come on, you fickle ass fans, pick someone. Who do you want? And I mean, I wanted to ask you too, for your opinion on this. Do you think Roman's going to be champion again? Like top champion?
Not for a while.
But do you think he's going to, though?
I could see it happening at some point. I don't see him having nearly, I don't think he's going to have a reign that's going to top his last one, but I think he can definitely hold another championship or two.
I would say the World Heavyweight Championship would be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he went to Raw anyway, but that would have to be after he handles Bloodline business.
Roman is going to come back. I could see Roman holding the World Heavyweight Championship. I could see, because the thing is like, remember when Brock held the championship for I think it was 570 something days, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And he lost the belt, but he held it. He held the championship only if it suited the story, and it was kind of like a stepping stone. I think in 2022, when he held the belt, he held the championship twice in the span of 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
He had one reign that was 20 something days, and then he had another reign that was only 30 something days. I could see Roman having a reign like that. Maybe, but I don't see him being the type to. I don't see him being a dominant 3-year champion anytime soon again. I don't think we're going to get that again for maybe another 10 years.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not expecting some sort of tribal chief run. I'm just saying, in terms of a credible face champion, it would be good to see Roman as that kind of person. We'll see though. I mean, time will tell, health-wise as well, because he has been performing at a high volume for a while now. So I think it's best that we, because people will be like, oh, he hasn't worked this many matches kind of thing. He's worked long matches, if that makes sense. He works
quality over quantity.
Exactly. He works longer matches, which I guess you could even say some of his long matches equate to about averagely about 3 to 4 Raw matches, maybe, right? 2 to 3, maybe. 2
to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3 sounds about right.
Yeah, so I mean, an average, he could have a solid 30-minute match, even though, 30 minutes is a lot, but it's Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief era, telling a story. For example, are you gonna want to watch Cody Rhodes? I mean, not watch because you're gonna have to if it's live anyway. But what would you say if though Cody versus Roman, their third round 1-on-1, and Cody's a heel, Roman's a face, and it's like a 40-minute match? You're gonna fuck with it, right? Solid finish, whatever it is.
I mean, it's hard not to say that. I think they're definitely. I don't see Roman wrestling. I think Roman is going to have very much a Brock schedule. He's going to have he already did as champion, but he's going to have a PL. He's going to have a PLE only schedule, maybe like 3 or 4 times a year. He may be on TV really frequently, but I could see him delivering, like a couple 30 to 40-minute bangers throughout the year. But beyond that, I don't think we're going to get much more than that. I don't think Roman's going to be a TV competitor anytime soon.
And it's crazy to see it like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's crazy to think like people like Roman Reigns, because there was a point. I mean, I know he wrestled on SmackDown. I guess you could say he's wrestled on SmackDown even during the pandemic era and afterwards. But I mean, week in, week out, like 2019, right? That was that year, and before WrestleMania 36, basically. But even before then, the Big Dog era, that kind of thing. He was constantly week in, week out wrestling. So it is kind of just, whoa. It's like a time shift. It's like, whoa. Roman is just going to be that, pay-per-view performer, no longer week in and week out on Raw like we would see Cena or Taker or Batista or so and so. And it's interesting now. I don't know. Time goes on. Next thing you know, the Usos will only be performing on pay-per-views.
Oh, no, don't say that.
No, then Sheamus, then Chad Gable,
then Sammy.
Oh, man.
Maybe Seth if the knee injuries don't catch up with him.
To be fair, Sammy has been only wrestling on PEs, right?
No, he's been wrestling weekly. Half of his defenses since Mania have been on Raw.
Oh, I mean,
yeah. The match where Chad Gable turned heel was on Raw.
I know that one. No, I know that. I'm talking about the recent weeks. Yeah, you got real silent there.
I was burping. I want to burp directly.
No worries. No, you're good. No, but yeah. I mean, I guess Sammy is better of a wrestler.
Sammy's an incredible wrestler. Sammy is the ultimate underdog. Besides Chad Gable.
Oh, Chad Gable. But no, yeah, we got a lot. I'm sure there's a lot coming up forward with WWE, but right now it's more of a time is of the patience type of thing. But I mean, can't really be patient with all these IWC people just waiting for everything to happen and pieces to fall. And I think really all we could do is just wait.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to enjoy wrestling, don't get other people's opinions.
Oh God, yeah. Stick to your own. Just stick to your own, because you're gonna have a better time not having to ingest a lot of crap from the internet.
It's the best way to describe. You just fucking don't do that to yourself.
And don't argue with people on the internet about wrestling. You'll never win. No matter how right you are with concrete evidence, you'll never win. All right, Marks. That does conclude the Mark Mania Club podcast for this episode regarding Money in the Bank. There'll be another miniature discussion regarding other stuff later this week here. We'll touch on that in another episode there, of course. T-Dog, Thomas, my friends, do you have anything to add?
Don't eat Burger King.
Okay, well, I love Burger King, so I will actually not agree with that sentiment. But I guess so. Burger King is bad, allegedly.
Stay in school even though it's summer vacation. Peace.
Drink White Claws.